Hello, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel, perhaps if you've seen our videos before, and welcome to a very, very pretty little hamlet nestled in between two villages just outside of Pesnes. So we are about a 7-minute drive from the town of Pesnes, and what we're looking at today is a very pretty house. It looks like a very old house, but it was actually built in 2005. So you've got all the modernity of a relatively recent construction, but as you can see, it's been faced in stone and built very cleverly. It's rather pretty. So what have we got today? We are looking at a 4-bedroom detached house of approximately 170 square meters of living space on a plot of just shy of 900 square meters with a spectacular view. Absolutely amazing view, beautiful condition. In fact, let's give you a little sneak peek at the view and then we'll go straight in and look at the house properly. So we are on the edge of the hamlet. How about this? Elevated position, beautifully calm. You're just a few kilometers from the neighboring village of Caux, which is spelt C-A-U-X. Slightly further from the next village of Nizas, N-I-Z-A-S. And as I mentioned before, you are nice and close to the historic town of Pesnes. So as you can see, you've got bags of parking here. You've got a single garage, quite long actually, which is about I think it was 25 square meters, the garage. As always, if you look below the video, there'll be a description and a link to the full advert page for the house on our website, and you'll see all of the dimensions for all of the rooms, etc. So let's go on in and have a look. Immediately, one of the interesting features, something I rather like, is these stairs. So I think they've done a really, really nice job of trying to emulate an old property, but without trying too much. So this doesn't feel like a Disneyland version of an old property. It just works. It's fantastic. So you've got your entrance hall. You've got understairs storage in here, and this door leads us through to the garage. So as you can see, a generous 1-car garage, quite long, and you've got a sink, etc. there. So you get a decent sized car. If you've got a long Volvo estate or something, you'll get that in there without a problem. So back to the entrance hall. Then you've got a sort of a lobby and a door through to a downstairs toilet with a light, of course. There we are. And then you've got one big space which is loosely divided into a dining area here and a sitting room behind us. So quite a generous space here. Relatively small dining table at the moment, but there you could comfortably have 10 seats, easy. Double glazing everywhere. And this leads through to your living space. Beautiful woodwork on the beams, really nice. Nice wood burning stove. The wood burning stove is hooked up to underfloor heating for the ground floor, which is quite clever. I think what I'll do is I'll show you the kitchen. You've got a kitchen, you've got a larder or a pantry, then you've got a utility area. The whole house is in immaculate condition. For a 21-year-old house, this feels like a newly constructed house. It's very, very nice, beautifully maintained. Nice sort of breakfast bar there. A view from the sink. I'll come back to that door in a sec. And then here we've got a larder or pantry. Good space. And that leads us straight through to a utility area where you've got your washing machine and a sink, and then a door that goes out to the rear of the property. So if you're doing any gardening, etc., and you want to pop in and wash your hands or whatever, that's a really good space to do that. Back into the living space. More views. And here you've got a small terrace. That's the door to the kitchen. Here's a little breakfast area, and then that is the door from the utility area. While we're out here, I'll do a proper tour of the garden, but as we're in a slightly elevated position, you've got a really nice big vegetable patch down here, and although the house does not currently have a swimming pool, I think that could be a really nice spot. You could get a lovely pool in there. Personally, I kind of think an 8 metre by 4 metre would suit it very well. I think you could go bigger, but I think that's a great space. Really nice wooden beams. And then you've got a double set of doors leading out to a sort of a conservatory sort of area here. Of course, as you would expect, all the windows are double glazed. Nice bit of woodwork up on the ceiling as well. But this makes a really nice sitting space. Maybe in the winter when the sun's on it. Great. And then from here we can go out to the garden. So you've got a few different areas of the garden. So there's the front door. The other side of these bushes in front of us, that's where we began, and I walked through that gap here at the beginning of the video. So you've got a lovely space here. So as a reminder, you've got 170 square meters of living space, 4 bedrooms, just under 900 square meters of land. Another sort of terrace area. There's an outdoor shower there. The owners at one point had a small above ground swimming pool in this area, and they rigged up an outdoor shower, which is quite good fun. But you've got that fabulous view again, and no one looking back at you either that side or that side. So you're very, very private. The boundary of the plot is, I don't know if you can make out a fence, but the boundary of the plot is basically just sort of down here. I've got a copy of the plan of the plot, which I'll include in the description, so make sure you follow the link in the description underneath the video. Lovely mature fig tree. And now we come down to the vegetable patch I mentioned earlier. The house has got photovoltaic solar panels on the roof, which is great. In today's day and age of rising energy costs, that's going to be a big help. I've also taken some aerial photos with a drone, which will give you a nice understanding of the whole house and the plot. Then, underneath the house. So this is an area that in French we call this a vide sanitaire. So it's a sort of a crawl space under the house, and if I can find the light switch, so I've got no idea where the light switch is. Well, you'll get a bit of an idea anyway. So this gives you a sort of a shed area. Sorry, I can't find the light switch. And then beyond that, this is under the house. So you've got, don't know if you can just make out, but you've got polystyrene insulation under the floor. So nice modern construction. And then you can either go up some steps or a slope. The owners made the slope so that it would be nice and easy to get a wheelbarrow up and down. The border with the neighbouring property is just beyond this vegetation here. Lovely neighbours, by the way. I sold the house next door. And you've got a shed. That links us back. So this door here is the door that goes from the utility area. Everything is so well kept in this property. It's an absolute pleasure to list this property for sale. Double doors from the dining room. I like the features of the surrounds here. Really nice. Here you've got a wood store. And then this brings us back to where we started. So yeah, that's the end of the tour. Fantastic. Oh, apart from the fact that I haven't done the upstairs yet. Rookie error. That would have been very awkward, wouldn't it, if I'd have completely forgotten to do that. I had actually planned to go upstairs first, but when I do these one-take videos, sometimes I forget. So up to the first floor. Really nice ironwork. And you've got a sort of a gallery landing. And probably we'll go straight through to the principal bedroom. So the principal bedroom is sort of divided into two areas. The first area is here. Let me back up a bit. You've got lots of space for built-in wardrobes. Then you've got an ensuite shower where you've got a toilet, a bidet, wash basin, and a nice big walk-in shower unit. And then the actual bed area, which is a dual aspect room. You've got two views. One that way, there you can see some of the solar panels. And the other view here. So it's so pretty here and so peaceful and so quiet, but you're really not in the middle of nowhere. You're about, I think it's about 3 kilometers from the village of Caux, C-A-U-X. So that's your main bedroom. Next door to that, you've got the smallest of the four. Storage cupboard. Next door to that, we have a family bathroom. So you've got a sink, toilet, and bath. And this room has got 2 doors. Which means it can either be a family bathroom or it can be a bathroom that serves this double bedroom, depending on which door you lock. Nice double room. And then on the other side of the hallway is another double bedroom, not currently used as a bedroom, but comparable size. This one's got built-in wardrobes. And here we look out onto the little road that runs where we started the tour, that runs along the side of the front of the house with the very attractive neighbouring property. And then a view onto the sort of entrance area where the parking area is there. And this time, I don't think I've forgotten anything. So that really is the end of the tour. So 4-bedroom house, approximately 170 square meters of living space, plus the garage, on a plot of just shy of 900 square meters. Make sure you follow the link in the description below the video read all about it. You'll see all the room sizes, all the information you could possibly want. Do let me know in the comments below what you think. If you've got any questions, fire those on in the comments section, and I will do my very best to answer them for you. But yeah, that's the end of the tour. Fantastic house. I'm very excited to have this on the market for sale, and I think this is going to be a hot property. Thank you for watching. See you soon.